Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing labor and delivery story. Obviously I went into labor. I had my son the 3rd of March and he is perfect. I had him at 2:00 p.m. on the dot and he was 7 pounds 10 ounces and 20 inches long, and now he's like 10 pounds. Ugh. Say hi. He's sleeping and he wants to sleep. Okay, I shall. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, baby. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He doesn't want to say hi. He's tired. You tired, babe? He's tired. So, I did have him 2 weeks ago, like I said. And, I went into labor actually. Oh, you're okay. Okay. Look how much hair he has. Let me show you. Look at this. Say hi, baby. No, he must go to sleep. So, I had him, I went to labor the 2nd. And okay, so sorry about that. I went into labor the 2nd, and it was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and my water broke. So, well, my water broke because I did not think my water. Okay, I did not think my water broke. That's why I go like this. I didn't think at the time my water had broken. I just thought I had an increase in discharge that day. I don't know what was up with me, because it wasn't water that fell from my vagina. It was like mucus mixed with water. It was very liquidy mucus, and when I would wipe myself, it would be like this, looking like boogers, but clear, completely clear, and it looked like boogers. And at first I'm like, oh, maybe I'm losing more of my mucus plug, but the fact that it was happening a lot. It was happening the night before, but when I woke up in the morning, it fell down my legs. That's the only reason why I went to call my doctor, because I was having the same mucus, but it wasn't dripping down my legs. That's why I didn't call my doctor the night before. But the night of my my water breaking, well, the day of my water breaking, I went into the hospital. I called my doctor, and he said come into the hospital. Normally he probably would have said come into my doctor's office, but the office was closed that day because it was Saturday. So I went into his office. I went to the hospital, and the second I get there, they rush me upstairs. Like, the second I get there, and they're like, oh, how many weeks are you? I'm like, I'm 39 weeks, and I think my water broke. So the second I said that, like I'm not even over-exaggerating, like 5 seconds later, there was a wheelchair ready to take me upstairs. So I sit in the wheelchair, and they just run me upstairs. I even left my phone on the counter. That's how fast it was. So I had to have Josh go get my phone for me, because I did leave it on the counter. So they rushed me upstairs, and they asked me to change into the gown. So I changed into the gown, and the nurse, she says, we're going to check if your water had broken. If it broke, you're going to stay. If it didn't break, we're going to send you home. So I really didn't think my water broke. I didn't think it broke. So I had all my family there, because we were supposed to go to a party later that day, so we were all there at my house getting ready for it. So that's why I wasn't, that's why my whole family was there. It was just pretty convenient that happened that day. But, yeah, so I changed the gown, and she had this tape thing that she inserted into my vagina, and she was like, if it turns blue, that means that your water had broken. If it doesn't turn blue, that means that you're fine and your water hasn't broken yet. So she puts it inside of me, and she says it's negative. My water hasn't broken. So I'm like, yeah, I knew that. No big deal. So later that she says, okay, the doctor's gonna come in and check you, or whatever. She leaves the tape between my legs on the bed. So when I look at it, it looks bluish, but it's not the blue it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look like blue, like this color blue. And it didn't look like that. It just looked semi-blue. So I was like, oh, okay, it's negative. So then the doctor comes in, and he looks at it, and the nurse tells him it's negative. Her water hasn't broken. He looks at the tape, and he's like, "What are you talking about? It's positive. Her water broke, and it was this color blue." So maybe she looked at it too early. But me saying she's a nurse, she should know that you're supposed to wait. But I guess she looked at it too early, and then he actually redid the test, and it came back blue. So my water broke, and then he, checked me for dilation. He made me like cough or something. So I was 1.5 centimeters and 50% effaced at the time, and that was my own personal body doing that on its own. My body did that naturally, the 1.5 centimeters and the 50% effaced. The only reason why I said that is because they did start me on Pitocin. But anyway, after he checked me, they called my doctor and they told him that my water broke, and they admitted me into the hospital. So my doctor was not there at the time. He doesn't get there until like the time I'm about to deliver, or like around the time I'm supposed to deliver. But Sundays he works there. So I did go on a Saturday at night. It was like in the evening, 5 o'clock I got there. So when the morning came, he was there already, and he stood the whole day. But anyway, so after that, they called my doctor, whatever, and they started plugging me up, IVs, the blood pressure thing, whatever, and they did my blood pressure, and they discovered that I had preeclampsia, and which is high blood pressure during your labor, and it was extremely high, my blood pressure, and it was really crazy because I never ever had an issue with blood pressure before. I did have like a little issue with it when I was like 17 weeks, and I was in the hospital because I thought that I was having a lot of pains. So I went to the hospital, and my blood pressure was like 150 something over something, which is nothing compared to what it was in the hospital. It was like 180 something over like 90. So it was really high. And they put me on medication through my IV to lower my blood pressure, and they told me that the medication made me very drowsy to not get up. So they put this catheter inside of me, and it just peed for me basically. And that's what that is. They put it inside your pee hole basically, and it just takes the pee out of you, so you don't have to get up and use the bathroom. So they did that, and it was pretty much fine for that moment. And then they started me on Pitocin. Now, the Pitocin was started like at 9:30 around there, and they switched nurses at like 7:30. So, because they switched shifts. So the new nurse, came in and did my Pitocin, and she kept upping it every half an hour. So when I was like 2.5 centimeters, she asked me would I want an epidural. Now, I did want an epidural eventually, but I did not mean that second. Like I told her yes, I would want an epidural, but I did not mean that exact second that she asked me. And 15 minutes later, the doctor was in, ready to give me an epidural, and I was like terrified. I was so scared. That was probably the scariest moment of my entire labor story, or labor experience. It was just bad. I was shaking like a maniac. Like when I get nervous, I shake. And I can't stop. Like I shiver and shake, and I can't stop. So that's what happened, and I couldn't stop shaking for nothing. I tried so hard to stop because hello, they're putting a needle into my spine. Couldn't stop. They even when he was doing the process of it, I really wanted Josh to be there to like sit in front of me, to hold my hand. They wouldn't let him in the room. He actually had to go like behind the curtain. Like they had a curtain in front of the door, so that way if the door was open I could still have my privacy. But they made him go behind the curtain. It was still in the room, but it was behind the curtain. He couldn't see what they were doing. But that sucked really bad because I really wanted him like next to me, in front of me, just to be there, just to support me, because it was just so scary. But he wasn't. And the nurse wasn't comforting me at all. She was just standing there, like weird. But so they did the epidural, and it was like I felt like 5 or 6 different pokes. And when the nurse, when the doctor was done, I asked the nurse how many needles did he put in. She says he puts in 2, and I was like, wow, I felt a lot of needles. She was like, the reason of that is because, well, the first needle they put in, the little needle to put in to numb your back, so that way you don't feel the big needle that goes in. So they put the first needle in to numb me, and then I felt that, and the second they put in, which is the big needle, they put in a few times, not a few times, but they inserted it a little bit. Well, the doctor inserted it, and he took it out a little bit, not all the way, just took it out a little bit, and like was trying to find my spine, and the nurse said that it's a blind procedure, so it's kind of hard to find your spine when you can't see. So that's why I felt many pokes because of that. And every poke I felt, I like jumped because it was like bad, and I kept like moaning because it hurt. And then it was like, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I'm like ignoring her because it's like it was just very scary for me. And she kept asking me what was wrong, and I kept giving like a face like, bitch, leave me alone. But it just hurt so bad. It was really, really, really bad. So later on, after the epidural, I started feeling the numbness come through. I wasn't really having that bad contractions to begin with, so it wasn't really that bad. It did make me like flinch a little bit, the contractions, but they went away. So that was fine. And then I told my family to go to the party because they were supposed to go to a party that day, like I said. But I told them to go to the party because obviously I wasn't going to go to labor anytime soon. So they went, and I just stayed with Josh in the hospital. They went, and they came back after the party, which was probably like, they came back like at 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't know why they came back so early. They could have just stood to like, they could have just came back like 11 or 12, and you know, when they slept a little bit, but they came back like at 5 in the morning, and they were all waiting in the waiting room because only 2 people were allowed in the room. So it was like Josh and my mom was there. And then after that, it was pretty much the waiting game. We were just waiting for my dilation to go up and be ready for him to come out. So I did start, increasing. I was digressing. I was changing. Every time they checked me, I was up another 2 centimeters. But they only checked me 3 times. So I was 5 centimeters, and it was in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning, and my doctor comes in, like my doctor, my OBGYN. He comes in, and he basically tells me, you have preeclampsia, and your blood pressure is extremely high, and if we don't get the baby out, he starts like, it was pretty scary. He was like, you could go into having a seizure. It was other stuff he was saying, and I was like really scared. He was like, but don't panic. He was, I'm gonna check you, and if you are almost close to the end of like 8-9 centimeters, we will just do a vaginal birth. But if not, we're going to have to do regular birth. So I mean, we're gonna have to do a C-section if not. So he checked me, and I was 5.5 or 6 centimeters, and he was like, we're gonna have to do a C-section. So I was pretty much okay with it. I wasn't scared or anything. I was fine, surprisingly. Now that I think about it, I'm like, what the hell was wrong with me? I should have been panicking. I should have been going crazy. I was fine. I was totally fine. So Josh was actually sleeping during this whole thing when the doctor came in and checked me and stuff. He was sleeping, and my mom and Josh's mom was in the room. So he checked me, and then they tell me we have to have a C-section. They bring the forms in for me to sign. I signed them, and it was really funny. They had the stuff for Josh changing too. They like threw it at him. Well, his mom did. His mom was like, Josh, well, they're gonna have to cut her open. She's gonna have to have a C-section. And he's like, what? Like he's like waking up, like really, because that was one thing he did not want. He did not want me to have a C-section. So they basically, I signed the papers, and they bring me into the room and start prepping me for surgery. And they bring me into the room, and it was like really, really scary. I really don't remember much. I kind of remember a little bit, but Josh was like, I remember I just wanted Josh next to me, and he wasn't next to me when they were prepping me. They made him wait outside, and then when they were done, they let him in. But so they did take me for surgery and prep me, and then Josh again was waiting outside, and they basically started like tying me up to the table. I don't know why. Like they like taped me to the table, like my leg, not my legs, but my arms. And I really have no clue why they did that. It's really, really weird. And they kept they actually put I don't know what they put into my IV, like through my spine, because I had obviously the epidural. I don't know what they put inside of it, but it made me completely numb, like completely numb. And then Josh comes in, and this is just, I'm telling you what I remember. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that happened, but I just don't remember. But the doctor, I remember the doctor pinching my stomach with something, and he's like, do you feel this? Do you feel this? Do you feel this? And I kept saying, yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. And the doctor was like, really, you feel it? And I'm like, yes, I feel it. And I was getting scared that I would have to have the surgery, even though I'm not numb. But obviously I was being stupid. Like, I was being ridiculous. But that's what I remember thinking. I remember thinking, oh my god, I'm going to have surgery with this pain. I'm going to have to feel it. So he kept doing it, and then they just waited a while, and they put this mask on my face, like this blue mask. I just remember it, like, coming out my face. And they put it on me, and then it says, close your eyes. So I was just trying so hard because I did not want to go to sleep. Like, I was scared. But it didn't make me go to sleep. It just made me really, 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 really drugged. Like, I was, like, done. So, he kept trying again. I was like, no, I don't feel it. So, they started with the procedure, and to me, it went by, like, 2.2 seconds. Like, it just went by quick. I just remember feeling pressure. I remember the doctor saying, you're going to feel a lot of pressure right now. And I felt pressure. What are you moaning about? You hear him? What happened, Pookie? What happened, baby? Yeah, so I just remember him saying, you're going to feel a lot of pressure. And I felt a lot of pressure. And I remember, like moaning, and they're just asking me if I was okay. And I remember crying, hearing the baby cry. And I started crying. And I remember looking at Josh, and he was crying. And it was like, we were all just crying. All three of us were just crying. And it was, I don't know, it was just so sweet. Sweetie. Now I'm gonna start crying. Anyway, all I remember is crying so much when he was born. He was so perfect. But anyway, after that they, like, took me out of the room, and everyone was telling me, like, my sister, I was still, like, completely drugged, but everyone was saying, like, because I couldn't really see him. He was on top of my chest, but I was so, like, messed up that I really couldn't see him because he was so close to my face, and he was, like, in my shirt, so I really couldn't see him. But Josh, like, recorded a video, which I probably put up, but I'm not really sure if I put up because I don't know if I'm naked in the video. I have to, like, rewatch it. But I was just, like, really drugged, and he was, like, holding my face, and it was really cute. But after they took me out of the room, I don't even remember them closing me up. It was all went by so fast. And then I just remember telling Josh, like, go with the baby, like, go see if he's okay or whatever. So he went. And then when I got out, I keep saying that, when I got out of the room, after they were done with the surgery, my sister and I was like, oh, he's so cute, he's so perfect. My sister's, like, crying, and everyone's crying. And I was so upset because everyone saw him, but I really didn't get a good look at him because I was so, like, messed up. And I just kept thinking, I don't want to fall asleep. I was so tired. I just remember thinking, I don't want to fall asleep, I don't want to fall asleep, I don't want to fall asleep, I want to see my baby. So I just remember after that I was shaking again like crazy. Like, after the surgery, I was shaking like crazy, and all the nurses kept asking if I was okay, but I was like, I'm fine, I'm not cold, I'm just nervous. But for some reason I remember them putting, like, this heat, like, it was like these big tubes, like this big, under my bed, and, like, it was like heat, and it was really cold. And they were telling me that oh, we're just warming you up, and the baby was obviously in the nursery, like, oh, we're just warming you both up right now. And I wasn't really cold, I was just really like nervous after the surgery, and I was just so drugged, so drugged. And that day, like, that was the whole day. I've had him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The rest of the day, I was drugged and numb and everything. I didn't feel anything. Like, I didn't feel any type of pain or anything. I was fine. I was perfectly fine. And then Monday comes. I think Monday, Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday were the worst days of my C-section. It was so painful. They put me on, I forgot what they're called, the painkillers. They put me on, I forgot, but I think it started with a P. Percocets. There you go. They put me on Percocets while I was in the hospital. They gave me 2 every 4 hours, and apparently I was supposed to get like really like drugged up and like woozy, but I felt nothing. I was perfectly fine. I just felt relief. Like I wasn't in pain anymore. So that was perfect. And then when I got home, they put me in Oxycontin, which I still have the pills, and those were perfect too. Like, they helped me with the pain a lot. But yeah. So after I had him, I went into the room and everything was fine. And I just remember being so exhausted. I wanted to sleep so bad, but I did not want to sleep. I wanted to sleep, but I didn't want to sleep because I wanted to see my baby. So after that, he came in, and I remember Josh was too scared to hold him because he was so tiny. But he wasn't really tiny. Like, he was tiny because we were not used to holding such a small baby all the time. But I don't know. He was little. He was little. He's like growling at me. Like, don't touch me. But anyway, so yeah. That's pretty much everything after I had him. I was there for 5 days in the hospital. I got there Saturday and I stood till Thursday. I was supposed to leave on Wednesday, but my blood pressure was still increasingly high and it still wouldn't go down, so they kept me till Thursday. I even had to see a cardiologist. They had to do an ultrasound of my heart while I was there because the blood pressure was so high. But everything came back normal for that test. Everything came back normal for his testing. They did a hearing test. It came back. He was fine. It was normal. And everything with him was normal. He was perfectly healthy and strong and perfect. And I love him. And I don't know what's wrong with him, but this kid, like, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing? He's sleeping. Say hi, baby. Say hi. Say hi. Look, he's already darker than me. He's dark like his daddy. Yeah. Look at this hair. Look at all this hair. And I don't know where he got this straight hair from. Look how straight it is. I have really, 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 really curly hair, and so does John. Look at that face. Oh, oh, oh. What, baby? What, baby? What? Say hi, YouTube. Say hi, YouTube. Say hi. I want to kiss him so bad, but I have lipstick on. Okay. Put him over there. I changed his diaper. But anyway, yeah, so that was my story. I did have a C-section again, so that was terrible. And I actually recently started feeling better. That's another reason why I haven't been doing a video, because I've been so much pain. It's not even funny. So much pain. And I actually recently started feeling better. I got my stitches taken out last Thursday. What's today? Monday. So I got my stitches out on Thursday. Not this Thursday. This Thursday? I don't remember. Some Thursday. One of these Thursdays that's been happening. And then he had a doctor's appointment, but I'll update that in his 1 month update, which is in 2 weeks. But, yeah, so everything's fine, everything's good. I am breastfeeding and formula feeding. I really hate giving him formula, but we do sometimes, probably once every 2 days or so. But I hate giving it to him. I hate how it makes him spit up. I hate how it's hard to burp him. I hate how it leaves a residue in the bottles. I hate the way it makes his breath stink. I hate the way it makes his burp smell. I just hate it. I feel like what are you doing, Pumpkin? What happened? What happened? I really would like to know why my son's growling at me right now. He's like growling. But I just hate formula. I'd rather give him breast milk, but sometimes we do have to give him formula if he won't latch on, or if I don't have any more milk left to pump or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I have so much like milk, it's not even like, I pump probably, if I don't pump for like a day or two and then I pump, I probably will pump like 20 ounces of milk for my boobs. So that's kind of, I don't know if that's normal. Normal for me. I don't even know. But yeah, so that's how everything's going right now. That's all we have to say for now. If you don't have me on Instagram, you are missing out on a lot, because I put pictures up of my son like crazy, and they're so adorable. So I would like you to check that out if you don't have me on Instagram. And Facebook, I'm not really a Twitter person. I don't know. People are asking me to put pictures up on Twitter, but I don't really like Twitter. I'll try to put something up, but I don't really know how Twitter really works. So yeah, but I'll try for you guys, because, you know, love you guys. But that's all I have to say for now. See you guys next time. Bye.